If you need some motivation to declutter your house, then you've come to the right place. Hi everyone, I'm Jackie. Welcome back to our weekly Declutter with Me series. We've been going through the life-changing magic of tidying up. So we've been decluttering our home using the KonMari method of decluttering. So basically, when we are on a particular item, we gather all of those items from around the house. We handle every single one and ask if it sparks joy or not, and then we thank it for its time that it did spark us joy and send it on its way. So if you've missed the series so far, we have gone through our clothes, which were several different categories. So you can do a few different things. You can either gather all of your clothes together, or you can just go through each category. That's kind of what I did. And then you can either do 15 minutes a day or an hour a week is what I'm kind of doing. And then we have the second thing after your clothes is to go through the books. So we went through all of my books, which are mostly personal and professional development type books. And then I mentioned we were going to be going through my daughter's books. We did kind of skip a little bit. We went to a miscellaneous section of doing the garage because my husband was available. So the last video in the series was my husband and I going through the garage. We still have to put together the shelving unit we purchased and kind of organize it, so I'll show that to you at a later date. But today we're going to get back to the books. So my daughters are actually going to go through their books. So I'm going to have them go through their books with you guys. And when you're having your children get involved, I really encourage you to start having your kids do this or teaching them the concept of doing this when they're young, because then it's going to build their decision-making muscle, and then they're also going to, they're going to know how to have gratitude for the things that they have, but also how to let go of some of those items. So I started with my girls when they were about 2 years old. At the beginning, they're probably going to keep everything, and as the parents, that might not seem okay. Like, we may not be like, we may not want them to keep everything, but we need to allow them to go through the process. And if they decide to keep everything, we have to be okay with that. And then you can always just come back maybe, a week or 2 weeks or even a month later, come back and do the process again. And I'm sure they're going to start letting go of some things. The other thing that's really cool about having them do it is they might reconnect with something that they weren't using. So they're not going to ask for new things as often because they're getting reintroduced to something that they've already had. So my daughters are 8 and 5 now. Geez, I was gonna say 4. So my daughters are 8 and 5 now, so they're gonna go through their books. One other issue that parents we might have is we might have more of a connection to some of their items than they do. So we have to be okay if they say goodbye to that item as well. So for instance, my daughters, when we went through their toys, we go through their toys at least twice a year. And my oldest wanted to get rid of all of her Monster High dolls, but I couldn't do it. We had a lot of dolls, and it felt like, one, like we put a lot of money into getting those dolls, but two, our youngest daughter, maybe she wanted to play with the dolls too. So we made a compromise and we went through all the dolls and we got rid of the ones that were broken. They were missing an arm or a leg or something like that. And then if she had a duplicate of a doll, a character, then we went ahead and we kept the better one. So this was actually a win-win-win because my daughter got to get rid of some of the dolls that she didn't want. I got the idea of keeping a few because I didn't want to get rid of all of them. And then my youngest actually did start playing with those dolls. So everyone got to do it. So with the books, I can already think of a few books that I personally have bought because we were homeschooling at the time, or I bought because I wanted to read them to my daughters and we just haven't gotten around to it. So I have a feeling there's going to be a handful of books that my daughters are going to let go that I may not want to let go of. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to I'm going to let them do their thing. They're going to put a pile to keep and a pile to donate, and then we'll put everything they want to keep. We'll put it back on the bookcase where it came from. They don't have any books around the house. Luckily, it's already in one central location, so that helps us from having to collect books from around the house. But you might have books in their room and in the living room or in an office or something like that, so we want to get all the books together. And then the books that they decide to donate, I'm going to kind of flip through them, and if there are a few of those chapter books that I was wanting to read to them, I may just kind of give them a brief idea of what the book is about, and then see, because books are going to be a little harder obviously because they might just look at the cover and say, oh, I don't care about this book, it's an old book or something like that. I'm also thinking of a few books they'll probably get rid of because we've already read them, and maybe it's time to make room for some new books. So that's what we're going to do today. All right, so here's the pile of books that my daughters are going to go through. This whole stack are coloring books. So I'm gonna have them go through that stack first, and then the rest of those are their books. So they're gonna, when they get back from school, they'll go through those with you guys. So I'm just gonna set the timer for 15 minutes for them. We'll see how far they get.
This is keep.
All right, so make a keep pile.
This is not keep.
All right, make a not keep pile.
Wait, no, this is mine.
Oh, that's math.
I know.
Put it in the other.
School.
Put it in the other pile. Yes, behind you. Just put it behind you.
This is keep.
All right.
This is keep. I have not read it yet. This is also. Do you still want to keep this if there has any pages left? I don't want to keep it. Okay.
So make
not
it.
keep.
Okay, good.
This keep. This keep. This could be the notepad. What is this? Yeah.
Oh, put that with the other pile behind you.
Keep. Kadia. Keep. Not keep.
Just do 15 minutes, I think.
Keep. Stuff. This is keep. This keep.
Put that with your other pile for now.
Keep.
Put that, Elsa, put that with the other pile for now.
This.
Other pile for now.
This keep.
Okay.
This keep.
Well, if it's a projects book, that's fine.
Kitty and candy. This is a project because it shows you.
Leave that separate. I'm talking about like these puzzles. Like those are fine. Are you keeping that one?
Yeah, good.
Your sister was putting these books in coloring.
Those are reading. Hi guys. Hi. I'm giving candy.
These are things that you have to go through in a minute. Okay, keep going.
There's no more coloring books.
So you're only getting rid of one? Behind you? That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reading books is all that we have left.
Okay. So well, then keep and donate.
Keep. Oh, I remember we were still reading this. Keep. What is this book?
That is a William Shakespeare.
Keep. I don't remember getting this. I'll keep it. I'll see what it is. Oh, this is what I'm going to read today, so that's definitely keep. We read this, but I like it. Keep. Those are good for Elsa when she gets older to read.
Okay.
And this keep. I read this a couple times.
Oh, yep, that you can put that with the project book. There you go.
This could donating.
Okay. Well, your sister said keep. I don't know. You guys got to decide. Elsa, what about the inside out one? You just said that one.
No.
Okay.
I read it.
Okay, this one we got from Carnivals, Towel Animals, so we're gonna keep that one.
Ow!
Careful.
Keep.
It's up to you.
Want to keep this? Yeah. This was a short book.
Well, it's up to you. Okay.
Not keep. I don't know about to get it. I want to keep for me. This keep. Wait, I read this 2 times. You read it and then I read it, so.
Okay.
This one could be for Elsa when she gets older too. This keep. Also, want to keep this? Keep. This I'll keep. This keep. This keep. This keep. This keep. This not keep. All the ones that keep. All the ones that we didn't read is keep. 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 Yes. Keep. Oh, it has a bomb! It has a bomb! Just kidding. Keep. Yes. Yes, keep. I'm tired. No.
Almost done. Pile's almost done, Else.
This keep. This keep.
So do those need a special thing to read? Those pink ones?
Yeah.
Okay. And it still works?
Those are for like questions right here, and then the rest you have to read on your own.
Okay.
Did you read this?
Which one is that? That one has a bunch of poems in it, I believe.
Give me other poems.
So
kind
those
of
are
like
one that I can start reading.
This one no. This one no.
Mm-hmm.
This one no. The art we read. Talking to art. This no. We read that. I'm short. This was.
Yeah, that's
what?
a Wizard of Oz. So that blue one is all of the Winnie the Pooh stories.
Oh, look at it.
Yep, that's Winnie the Pooh.
This is a big bookie. I might read this instead of the.
Well, you can finish reading your Papa Penguins and then.
Yeah, I only need 2 more days and then I'm finished. This key.
Yep.
I'll learn about animals.
Those are the national parks.
Ooh.
We actually got that from one of the guys that we worked with at the sugar beet harvest. He gave that to you guys.
Oh, and I remember the guy was a friend of the guy that we watched, and he gave us that penny thingy.
Yep, that's what it was, right? Those are poems, and then that one that Elsa has is up to her.
This one?
Yeah.
She
about,
said key.
Okay.
So.
All right. So that's that pile. Now we gotta put them back up on the shelf. We still have 9 minutes left, so let's put those back up. Thank you. And I'll show everybody what you're getting rid of. All right, so these are the donate pile. So I'm actually pretty impressed that they got rid of some. I wasn't sure what they were gonna do. So we're gonna add those to the donate ones that I have from my collection. And then we're gonna put these back on the shelf. And then the girls will work on their paper that you guys will see next.
Our library.
Yep, this is your library. All right, say thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
All right, so we are actually able to get all of the books and coloring books in one spot. Before, we used to have the coloring books down there and it would just make a big old mess. So now, books and coloring books all fit on one cubby, so much better. Join me next week. We're going to be adding the next category, which is all of our paper. So if you guys remember, also I mentioned, I do the Fly Lady system as well. So once we get through all the paper, we'll be starting to kind of go through all of our miscellaneous stuff by zone, kind of using the Fly Lady method. But we're going to get all of our paper together and put them in boxes, and then we can start, we're gonna have a box for my husband's paper, a box for mine, and a box for my daughter, so we can all go through our paper together. So if you're interested in that, join me next week. I'd love to hear from you guys. Did you go through your own books yet? Have you decluttered your personal books, or do you have children and you've gone through your books with your children? Leave a comment below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.